You you can be as
Can I curse on
yeah,
here?
you can do whatever you want. It's
Okay.
we like to keep it, it's a family show, but whatever. You can curse.
PG-13?
Keep it PG-13, but if we have to do R for this one, I think the topic is necessary.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Passive Aggression. I'm your host, Dominic Gonzalez, here with Sarah Smith. I have a new guest. Sarah's a coworker of mine, and we got her on the show here today because she went through something very traumatic that I think.
It's not funny, but it is.
Now, is your mic on?
Oh, fuck. I thought you already turned
Oh.
it on. How do you turn it on?
Press the button at the bottom. Hold it for a bit, and then it'll.
Okay,
Yeah,
does this
okay.
mean it's on?
Yes.
Okay, luckily I didn't say anything important yet.
Okay, good. So, Sarah, I'm not really gonna. We're not gonna beat around the bush. We're gonna go straight into it because I think you might have a lot to say. So
Yeah.
I want you to just start from the beginning.
Okay.
And the whole thing, and then I'll ask my questions. Maybe I'll interrupt you throughout, but just please share your truth.
Okay,
Go
please,
for it.
because I feel like I might get off track. This
Okay.
has been like, I'm beating a dead horse with this story, but it needs to be told. Let me set the scene for everyone. It's February 12th. A lot of really hard stuff already happened that day, so it's just already a rough day. And my apartment is in Waco. My parents also live in Waco, so I went and ate dinner with my parents. I was on my way back to my apartment because TCU, I graduated from there, was playing the women's basketball team at Baylor. So I was watching that game because I was going to join on the podcast that I'm a part of to talk about the game. So I'm just chilling on my couch watching TV as one does on a I believe it was a Thursday night. And then all of a sudden, I hear this really loud noise. It sounded like, this is kind of niche, but like a cookie sheet falling over like on your floor. That's what it sounded like, metal hitting the floor.
Interesting.
So I was like, oh, okay. Like sometimes I got stuff in my sink, y'all, sometimes I just be so tired I don't want to do the dishes. So that's what I thought it was. So I kind of got up and did like a lap around my island. And I was like, okay, like nothing is out of place. And then as I'm walking back to my couch, I see like a ton of white powder on the floor. And I was like, okay, that's super weird. And I look up at the wall that is kind of like parallel to the couch that I was sitting on. And there's a hole in it. And then I turn to where the TV is, and there's an even bigger hole in that wall.
Okay.
And then I clock it. Oh my God, somebody shot through my apartment. Somebody shot a bullet through my apartment.
Right.
Like saying it even now after it's happened about like a month and a half ago, it still just is so crazy to even say that.
Now this is a next door door neighbor?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw a little diagram of like the trajectory. Okay. So 1 second, please.
And what time of day?
It was in the evening. It was probably around 7:30. 7:30 when this happened, because I recently was looking at when I called 911.
Yeah.
And it was around 7:30, and I was on the phone with the 911 dispatcher for 11 minutes. Okay, here's a photo. Okay, you can't really, okay, there we go. That line is where it went. That little yellow dot is quite literally where my head was. It was like literally 2 feet from
insane.
my head and a little up. Let me just set that scene for you. It came in through my bedroom wall, right above my headboard. Okay, anyway, back to the main story. I clock that it's a bullet, and I go into my room, and I fall. I get on the ground. I'm just like laying on the ground. And
Right, you're
like,
under attack at this point.
Like that's literally what I sound like. And I call my dad. Maybe in hindsight I shouldn't have called, but it's like I didn't even care. Like if I was about to get shot up, I wanted my parents to hear my voice for the final time.
No,
so I was like, you gotta get here right now. someone just shot through my apartment. I don't know what's going on. You need to get here right now. And then he's like, okay, call 911. And I was like, okay. Okay, and then my mind, I had this podcast I was supposed to do, and so my next thought was I need to call him and tell him I'm not going to be there because I don't want to not show up. That's literally where my mind went in this panic. So I called him, and I was like, hey, this is really crazy. I just got shot at. Long story. I'm so sorry. I know we don't really know each other like that, but I can't show up. It was just like a freak panic mode. And it's like I didn't hear any noise or other gunshots after that one. So I was kind of like, okay. And then I called 911, and I was on the phone with the dispatcher, and maybe like 3 minutes in, I obviously tell her, and I'm like, oh my God, like talking like that, crying, like someone just shot through my apartment. I don't know what's going on. I'm okay. I wasn't hit or anything, but I don't know what's going on. And maybe like 3 minutes into that phone call, somebody starts banging on my door and like trying to open it. And from where I'm sitting in my room, it's like I can see the door. I'm kind of like hiding behind my dresser in the corner, and I can see the door.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there literally holding 2 stuffed animals because,
Right.
And I'm like, somebody is banging on the door and trying to get in. And she's like, are they saying anything? I'm like, no, nobody's saying anything. I just hear like aggressive banging, and like the doorknob.
That's the crazy part.
No
one's saying anything.
Yes, no one is saying anything. And so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I am literally about to die. Somebody is about to kick down my door.
Yeah.
And I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die. This is it. Like, this is how I go out. And I was going to go down fighting, obviously, but me against a big, strong man, I'm sorry, I'm cooked.
Right. Well.
And so then I'm like, she's like, the dispatcher's like, did it get? I'm like, no. Like, the knocking stopped. And I was like talking to her, I even like forgot what I said to her, but we were just talking, just keeping updated about like police and everything. And then somebody knocked again. It was calmer this time. So I told her, I was like, hey, someone knocked again, crying. And she's like, did they say anything? I'm like, no. And she's like, do you have anything to defend yourself? And then that's when it all kind of hit me. I was like, oh my God, like I had to go get a knife to defend myself. So I tiptoed over to my kitchen, grabbed my largest kitchen knife, and then went right back down to where I was sitting and was holding it like this, like waiting for an intruder.
Right.
And then the knocking happened 2 more times with 0 identification. And it was about like 10 minutes on the phone at this point. She told me that the police were on their way. And I was like, okay, like people are knocking, like, is that the police? And then that's when Waco PD identified themselves as Waco PD. And so and the dispatcher confirmed to me that it was Waco PD. So I get up, I open the door, and they're like, oh, are you okay, whatever? And I'm like, shaking, obviously, like, girl, I just got shot at. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Now, the first rattle, was that already Waco PD? Did we confirm that the first thing was Waco PD, or was it the neighbor coming in to check on you?
It was my neighbor. The first time, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. So it's
he's
like,
thinking you're either dead or not home.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, the viewer, please comment what you would do in this situation, or find me on Instagram and tell me what you would do. Like, you just clocked that a fucking bullet went through your apartment, and you're sitting down thinking you're gonna die, and then somebody starts trying to aggressively open your door and bang on it. Like, I think I'm cooked, because I was also thinking my apartment is really easy to get into. The elevator on the ground floor of like our parking garage, it's open to the street, so quite literally anybody could just walk up and go upstairs. And like the little key fob to get in it doesn't work. At least when I lived there back in February.
That's great.
And it's like the wall dividing like the apartments from like the elevators, like glass. I'm sorry, you could get a baseball bat, that's just gone. Like, I literally thought the Grim Reaper was here taking out people of the apartment complex. Like, that's what I literally thought. So Waco PD comes in, and they're like, okay, like, you're okay, like, what happened? And I just explained what I just said to you guys, just everything that happened. And then they were like, okay, like, we're gonna go to the neighbor and get his side of the story. And then I'm like, okay. And then like my parents get there and it's like emotional and I'm crying and my mom's crying and my dad's crying and everyone's crying and it's just like, oh my God. And then the police, this is kind of where like, I never saw my neighbor that night and I haven't seen him at all.
So you never saw him after the bullet was shot at?
Yeah, I never saw him.
Wow. Okay. Not even a sorry?
No, he like left a note also like on my door. He like taped it on there like, hey, if you see this, call this number, and like I guess left his phone number. But I'm like, if I'm dead, I'm not gonna see that. So It's like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I'm not sure he called 911. I think I was the only person that called 911. And the alleged story is that he was cleaning a loaded gun and then it just went off.
Wow.
I'm sorry, like I work in news. I wasn't born yesterday. Like, you know, me personally, I am skeptical about this story, as is I think everyone, but I think what was really hard is that like everyone just kept calling it an accident. And I'm like, okay, what happened here? Like, it is a crime.
Yeah.
Under PC 42.12. I know the penal code. It's like, I don't know the fine text, but I know that that's the code. So please look it up. I don't know if that's true everywhere. I live in Texas, so search up Texas and that thing. Yeah, the police get my statement, you know, and then I just kind of go about my day and I immediately move out, obviously. Like, my peace has been disrupted. I almost died. I mean, like, where the bullet hole came in was like right above my headboard, where I, you know, spend a lot of my time reading, looking at my phone. And like, this was kind of just the one chance that I like wasn't in that location because I was watching TV. It's like, usually I'm there in my PJs getting ready for bed.
That's crazy.
In that spot. And so it's so crazy to think about, like, if I had been sitting there, you know, like, I just wouldn't be alive right now because that's exactly where, like, my head was. The bullet just would have hit the back of my head. Yeah. It's just so crazy to think about.
Now you moved out.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the apartment complex and how they worked with you there? Was there any, like, pushback on breaking the lease? Did you... You know,
surprisingly, no.
Okay.
Like, I feel like apartment management...
They didn't want to get sued. They were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like...
Do you want to name the lobby after you, actually?
Yeah, right? We're going to call this Sarah Smith Apartments now. Like, I feel like apartment management are either, like, super supportive or, like, really horrible, and there's just, like, no in between there. Like... but luckily, it all kind of worked out. Like, the manager was, like, super understanding of, like, what we wanted. You know, I wanted, you know, some of my rent back that I paid, because obviously I wasn't living there the full month.
Oh, yeah.
I needed to get out of my lease without all the extra fees and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't...
Yes, they did, like, all of that.
And no, what about, like, getting deposit back or, like... You know what, like, is that what you mean by the extra fees?
I don't even think no, it's like if you, like, if I were just to, like, want to terminate my lease early, it's like you have to pay 2 months rent.
Right.
And give 60 days notice, so they, like, waived all of that. The only things I had to pay myself were, like, my final bills and stuff, which is fine, because I was going to pay those anyway. Yeah. Because they were for, like, the previous month or whatever.
And was that all good? Like, talking to the electric company and the, I don't know, whatever,
yeah. I just called, but the lady at AT&T kept trying to sell me stuff, and I was getting frustrated. And I was like, ma'am, I'm just trying to cancel my internet. Please. I'm like, that's all I need to do here. Like, I don't want to bundle. I don't want to save. I need to cancel. Yeah. So luckily I was able to get out of everything. I know sometimes with energy, like, you get like a 1 year long thing. So luckily I had TXU Energy, and they didn't do that. Shout out TXU Energy.
Not a sponsor.
Also, they had great prices. I was on Reliant, and I was paying like almost $80, $90. TXU, I was paying like $50, $60. So
nice.
Maybe that's just a difference between Waco and Fort Worth, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And so nothing really happened after that. Obviously, you know, I'm in news, so I did a little digging, and I think I found him. I'm not going to name drop him here, but I think when I went, like, back to my apartment to grab some things, I walked by him.
Uh-oh.
Like, and his mom. I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he knows what I look like. Because the only person I ever saw go into that apartment was, like, an older man with, like, a dog. Like, I never saw him go in and out of that apartment. So I don't even know who this is. If he was even living there, like, if he was just, like, visiting or what. I don't.
And do we know what's happened to him since?
No, I do know. I just spoke... I just spoke with a law person.
Okay.
And I literally had to miss the entire second half of the TCU Ohio State game in March Madness, which was so frustrating to be on this phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone call, I felt like the person opened and was like, oh, if you need somebody to talk about this, like, I'm here, like, how are you doing? We just want to give him a little slap on the wrist. Like, how do you feel? No.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I don't need to send him to prison, but, you know, like, this is a crime that he committed. Like, you know, accidental discharge. I don't know if that's the formal charge or the formal crime, but it's like reckless discharge of a firearm within, like, city limits, so, like, within Waco city limits.
Yeah.
Like, that's a crime. And so, you know, we were kind of talking about that on the phone with this law person, and he was like, oh, you know, that just kind of applies to, like, drunk people in the backyard firing a gun. So,
I mean, you
know, I was just like, okay, so you have this law, but it only applies to a certain situation. Like, that's suspicious. And I'm like, obviously I don't need to send him to jail, or to prison or anything, because it's like you could spend up to the max sentence, I guess, for this is like up to a year in jail or something.
Good.
But I think I pressed charges. I told this guy that I was interested in pressing charges and I wanted to move forward in that direction. And I think that he has to spend a night in jail, at least one night in jail, and maybe can bond out or something. I'm not entirely sure how that process works. But I think as soon as this guy called me, I put it on speakerphone and sat next to my dad, and I was like, okay, we're going to do this together here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like that a lot of the officers just keep calling this an accident. They just keep saying, oh, it was an accident, it was a mistake. But I'm like, somebody, like, I mean, the bullet could have kept going. Yeah. I could have died. Somebody else could have died. It's a multi-family home. I know families live there because I've seen other neighbors in the hallways, like families with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like somebody could have literally died. Well, I almost died.
I mean, did he have to, like, is there there not even like a fine that he has to pay or anything?
You know, like, I'm not really sure. Like,
because
I don't know.
Because you accidentally crash, I don't know, someone's vehicle, and you got to pay a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Insurance
like, oh, I didn't
up.
mean to rear end you.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's punishments.
Yeah, I'm not.
A slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not really sure in that department.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know why, like, if you are a gun owner, you know, you need, like, that's something you need to know if you're going to buy a gun and own one. It's like, you should know not to clean it with a loaded magazine. I mean, because I did some Googling because I was curious. Yeah. And I was like, well, can that actually happen? And I think if it's loaded, maybe if you're, like, cleaning in the barrel or something and it can, like, go off in your finger, is not in the trigger. But then my dad made a good point. It's like, people that aren't trained, like, naturally go to, like, hold a gun like that. Like, when I think if I'm playing with, like, a Nerf gun,
mm-hmm.
like, I immediately go grab the trigger because, one, I know it's a Nerf gun. It's not going to kill anybody.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, a gun-looking thing with the trigger. And so, like, people, I feel like they naturally go to hold it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe that's what happened. I mean, who knows? I think he might have been the only person in his apartment. You know, who knows what really happened to get us where we are today.
Wow.
So it's just been a little crazy, but I think it's been a little bit of a blessing in disguise because I was able to get a new job in a new city.
There you go.
So, and I was planning to do that like towards the end of the year, and I got a little expedited.
Yeah.
But I'm firm, like, that has disrupted my peace. Like when I moved to Austin, that's something I'm thinking about. It's like, oh my gosh, like, Austin just had that really horrible shooting in 6th Street. Like, is something like that gonna happen to me again?
Yeah.
Like, God forbid it happens twice in my lifetime. I think I just have horrible luck if this ever happens to me again.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously you can't even control that.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Now, what did you have a heart-to-heart with Ethan? Ethan, viewers, Ethan is her boyfriend, who's also a co-worker of ours.
We're interconnected here.
What did he have to say about it? Like, what was his reaction?
Ethan was like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him," and I was like, "Okay, no, I can't be having you go to jail." Also, that's not the vibe. I had to text him because I was on the phone with 911.
Yeah.
And I was texting him, and I was like, I just got shot, and he was like, "What? Like, are you joking?" And I was like, "No." It's like, I'm literally on the phone with 911. And obviously, he just kind of shared the same frustration as me, like, you could have died. Like, I don't even know what I would do if you died. Cute.
Like, what's going through your head? You just had a near-death experience. You're thinking you're under attack. Someone's gonna come get you. I know you're like freaking out thinking about like TCU and the podcast and calling family, but like in that moment, are you looking back at your life and being like, okay, you know what? Did I do everything I wanted to do? Like,
I was literally just thinking about like defending myself. Like, I was thinking about what am I going to do?
Yeah.
If somebody kicks down my door and I have to defend myself, that's what I was thinking of. Because if that were to happen, I can't waste any time. And I live my life. If I died tomorrow, or if I died right now, I would be okay with my life. I believe everything in my life has happened for a reason. I wouldn't be here if maybe the smallest detail in my life changed. So I live with no regrets. Haven't made mistakes? Sure. But I live my life with no regrets. So I was just thinking about, like, what am I going to do to defend myself?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not going to go down a wimp sitting like this. Like, I'm going to go try to defend myself.
Now, has this inspired you to maybe take up some classes? We have a coworker who takes jiu-jitsu.
Who?
Macy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's doing.
Oh, I need her to train me.
I mean, yeah. But has this inspired you to maybe take up some, different? Maybe you should try to do that. To
I know, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna start. Honestly, since I've been on the morning shift, y'all, I either sleep for 2 hours or 14 hours, and I can't find the energy to go to the gym, and it's really sad. So I'm hoping in Austin I can go to the gym because they have a lot more like workout class options.
Yeah.
Like they have a solid core. All the bitches love solid core. Okay. So I'm trying to become a part of that group.
There you go.
But that should get you locked in. But no, I think it's just made me never want to ever be around a gun or violence.
Yeah.
Like it is just like so scary. And it's like, yeah. I love hosting. I love bringing people together.
Right.
Like that's the kind of person I am. I'm so outgoing. I love talking. Obviously, as you know, as my coworker, I love to talk, and like I can't bring people to my home with that in there.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I had no idea how. Like I guess I had an idea of how intimidating or how heavy guns would be, but my sister, she lived with me for a few months.
Yeah.
And her husband's in the military. And so he had weapons. He had guns.
Yeah.
He had like a hunting one and then just like a pistol. And so one day he like opened it and to show me, and I held it. I was like,
it's weird because it's like
so weird.
It's like anything can be a weapon if you really think about it, but it's just like I just feel like a gun, like that's, I don't know, gun just has such like a.
I know, yeah. And
you know what I mean?
Knowing that it's in your home, it's a little.
Yeah, and it's
a
like,
little,
I mean,
I don't know.
I know, like, my family has them, but it's like, I know that they have trained, and they're like, obviously they're my parents, so they're not like teenager idiots. And it's like, we don't get them out.
The fact that
like,
it's so easy to get one, like,
yeah,
you can just go into Walmart, I believe.
yeah, as long as you're over 18 or something. So it's like an 18-year-old.
That's insanity.
But I'm like, I'm sorry, why do you need a gun like in Waco? Is Waco crime like that? I don't know. You know, maybe it is, but you shouldn't need a strap in a multifamily apartment complex, because those walls are thin.
You think that
clearly
guy
it went through
the cops?
4 walls. I don't know. I think it's just a little bit of bias, maybe. I don't know. Like,
I didn't realize that the camera just pointed.
Yeah. I thought you did that on purpose.
Because I don't know, maybe because Baylor that's a pretty well-off school, right? I mean.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a student there. I know that he is lawyered up, so you know I'm not gonna like say anything crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just made me a little bit uncomfortable the way everyone was just calling it an accident, a mistake, and I'm like, okay, that's a mistake that I really could have gotten killed or wounded. Like if I didn't get killed, I would have gotten shot and like in my body, like I would have that scar for the rest of my life. Like I've fallen down and have some pretty like gnarly scars like on my knees from accidents and stuff. And it's like those are pretty, cool stories, but it's like that's fucking traumatizing as hell. Yeah. It's like here I am, it's a normal Thursday evening and I just fucking get shot at.
Watching your favorite show.
Yeah, watching some basketball, like, on my couch, and then all of a sudden I got shot at, and like he was like fear-mongering me, like it. What? I'm sorry, I just can't comprehend why he wasn't identifying himself in that moment. I mean, I understand a little bit, like I can't imagine what he's going through, like that happened and he's probably like, holy fucking shit, I might have like killed somebody. Mm-hmm.
And maybe not trying to scare the rest of the complex. I don't know.
Yeah, he was banging pretty hard, so I'm sure somebody heard it. Like, like I could hear people kind of outside in the other room or whatever in my apartment. Like the walls are thin in every apartment. So it's like, I'm sure people heard him banging. But I'm like,
well, Sarah.
Why did you not identify? Hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, are you inside? Yeah. Like nothing. So I'm sitting there.
Or maybe just trying to talk to you through the hole that he made in your wall.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right?
Hey.
Oh my God, if that happened, oh my God, I would just be like, what?
Is there anything? First of all, thanks for sharing your testimony, your story. You're a survivor.
I mean, I hate being called a victim because I'm not injured, but like.
Well, yeah.
Like I am.
Is there anything that else that you'd like to add that we haven't touched on?
I would just really encourage people that if you want to own a gun, like please, like do safety class beforehand. Like please be safe. You never know if like someone else could get a hold of your gun without you knowing, like that. Yeah. Especially with kids, like if you just have it out, they can take it and fire it off. Like we had a story like that we covered here at our station.
Yeah. Where
that happened, where a little kid got shot in the head because he was playing with a gun.
It's crazy.
It's like you really need to be safe about that stuff because that has real consequences. Of it might have been an accident. Oh, you didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like I could have died. Like your mistake almost cost me my life, and I'm very grateful to be alive. That's like so crazy to say. I'm 23 years old.
There you go.
And I've also been very fortunate to have never, been in a situation like that before where I'm fearing for my life. But it's like I literally thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy. So I would just encourage everybody out there to be safe and don't be an idiot. And if you choose to own a gun, please take safety classes. Please be smart. protect yourself and your family and other people. Just, I need to put that in the world.
There you go.
Safety is important.
There you go. Good job. Thanks. Yay for Sarah.
I'm glad I survived to tell my story.
Yay. And Sarah, where can people find you?
People can find me on TikTok at SAR Smith Sports. I'm also on Instagram. I don't really post a whole lot right now, but you know, I'm trying to enter my Austin influencer era.
There you go.
So, which is like what everybody does.
There you go.
So I'm hoping to get some, you know, I grew up in Austin, so I feel like I'm kind of rediscovering.
Going back home, yeah, full circle.
Rediscovering my hometown, and I live in an area where like my parents met, so a lot of nostalgia
cute.
there. I know.
Aww.
So cute. So I'm pretty excited. But if you want to support me in my journey, please follow me.
Yeah.